In this lecture, we are going to continue talking about how to develop the business plan. In last lecture, we finished two main components of the marketing plan, which are how to conduct a market research and how to make a marketing plan. In this lecture, we will explain how to estimate the sales. The sales estimation. For those businesses that use direct distribution, sales start low and pick up continuously over time. But if you use wholesale or retail distribution methods, sales may be quite good for the first couple of months because you are sending a supply of your product to wholesale warehouses and stores, where it's initially stockpiled or put on display before being distributed or purchased by consumers. Sales may drop for a few months until the wholesalers or retailers sell the product and place additional orders. Then sales will become more stable and reflect the actual amount of purchases by the end users. Now, let us see how the garbage recyclers made their sales estimation. With their competitive pricing strategy, John and Mary expect to capture at least 10% of the compost manure market after 6 months. The current size of the local market for compost manure is approximately 8,000 tons per year. They will sell about half directly to small farms, greenhouses, and landscape businesses, and distribute the other half to retail hardware stores and nurseries. Following is their projection of sales from their launch in June to the end of the year. The following table, or the table you see, shows several data about the sales estimation of the garbage recyclers. As you see, the first column represents the products they sell, which are the super organic compost and the organic compost. The next column represents the distribution method, and the next columns represents the months and total bags and total tons. For example, in June, they sell directly or distribute directly 480 bags. And they sell to retailers 1,600 bags. As a total, in June, they sell 2,080 bags. Also, the table shows the total sales volume, which is 476 tons. Also, the table should represent the total sales in the market, the whole market, for 7 months, and also the market share they intend to reach. Back to your business plan book, you will see the same table as in the example, and you should fill this table. After finishing the marketing plan, you should know about the stuff, which is the fourth element in our business plan. When starting your new business, you may need to hire employees, of course. If you employ staff, you will need skills to manage them. You should also adhere to the laws and regulations which apply to the labor market. Note that you can hire members of your family, but to prevent conflicts of interest or resentments by other employees, make sure that the family members you employ have the required skills and are not employed just because they are family members. They should not be given special privileges and should have the same working conditions as other employees. In this part of business plan, you should determine first, what stuff do you need? Second, the stuff costs. Now, let us begin with the first element, which is what stuff do you need? Your business idea will help you to decide what skills your staff need. Follow these steps to determine what stuff you will need in your business. 1. List the tasks that will have to be performed and group similar tasks together. 2. Decide which tasks you will not have the time or the skill to perform yourself. 3. Determine what skills, experience, and other requirements you need in the staff you hire to do these tasks. 4. Decide how many employees are needed to perform each task, and this will largely depend on the volume of business you anticipate and the time required for performing each task. 5. Prepare job specifications for each position, where you describe the job title, tasks, responsibilities, qualifications, and skills needed to perform the tasks. 6. Develop staff policies such as working hours, holidays, annual and sick leaves. Note that when you are ready to start your business, you will then need to select the right people by identifying possible candidates or by advertising the opening. Be careful to consider other soft skills such as attitude and commitment. Interview qualified applicants and choose the best person. Also, all employees need to have a written contract that complies with the labor law and with government regulations. In addition, your employees will need an induction program that makes them feel comfortable in their new working environment and describes how they are to perform their jobs. Now, we are going to explain the second part of the staff plan, which is the staff costs. Consider the costs associated with the staff that you have decided to hire. Your staff costs will include their monthly salaries as well as payments for statutory contributions such as insurance, health services, and allowances. Also, as the owner of the business, you should also determine the salary and the other benefits that you will receive. Note that this amount should not be too low so that the capital of the business is not eroded by personal or household needs of the owner. It should also not be very high because the more profit is consumed by the owner, the less a new business can grow. Also, you may consider employing temporary staff to meet unexpected work demands. You pay temporary staff an hourly wage, but they receive no other benefits like paid holiday, entitlement, or sick leave payments. And when you hire temporary staff, you must know in advance when you need them and for how many hours. Now, let us see how John and Mary decided on their staff requirements and the related costs. As city garbage recyclers, John will be responsible for the overall management of the business and the administrative work, while Mary will be the factory supervisor responsible for all the production and the sourcing of raw materials. They plan to use part-time labor and only employ a few full-time staff. Mary will need an assistant factory supervisor. John will need a marketing officer, 2 sales assistants, and a driver to manage deliveries. Also, they need an accountant to do the record keeping, but Mary will do it at least for the first 6 months. For the full-time employees, 10% of the monthly salary must be contributed to the pension fund and the health insurance scheme. Now, Mary and John make the table you see. The table represents staff requirements and costs and consists of 5 columns as you see. The first column, they determine the task or the position they need. The second column represents required skills and experience. The third column represents the person who will perform the task. The fourth column represents the monthly pay, and the final column represents contributions to pension fund and health insurance. For example, the task or position factory manager requires a degree in commerce and will be performed by John, and the monthly pay for this position is $900, and the contributions to pension fund and health insurance for this position or for this salary is $90. And in the end of the table, you should determine the total number of permanent staff you will hire, and also the total staff cost per month. Now, back to your business plan book, you will find a table shows staff requirements and costs as in our example. And remember, you should fill this table carefully.